To prevent bike thefts after police in Miami see a rise in the crime. Plus, how Carthage school officials are moving forward after voters rejected a bond issue for a new performing arts center. And a Southeast Kansas veterinary clinic searches for a new location after a decades-long partnership ends.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Late developing story tonight. The Jasper County Sheriff's Department is investigating after a body is found in a vehicle in a rural part of the county. This is KOAM News at 10. Authorities say the body was found around 3 this afternoon near Civil War and Pine Road at a long abandoned farmhouse in Carrington. Detectives say a vehicle was found behind the farmhouse with the body inside, believed to be that of a missing Alba woman, Michelle Stone. Authorities do not suspect foul play at this time, but that investigation is ongoing. An Evergy Utilities electric substation was struck by lightning today, sparking this fire and knocking out power for thousands of customers. Currently, Evergy shows around 2,500 customers without power. The city of Fort Scott has set up Buck Run Community Center as a cooling station for people who are currently without AC. That lighting from one of a number of thunderstorms that have been around the area. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we had those scattered thunderstorms throughout the evening hours, and that was a pretty potent little guy that rolled through Bourbon County and then worked into Vernon County between the 5 and the 6 o'clock hour. Prior to that, it was just hot. Day number 18, we've hit 100. The record was 105, so we made a run at it. Didn't reach it, which is fine. But if we go back in time, so right at the beginning of this loop, you can see that thunderstorm moving out of Bourbon County, kind of dying over the past couple hours and now trying to flare up a little bit. We have some spotty little showers, and these are going to increase as we go through the overnight hours tonight, especially after midnight. Some of these storms could be a little bit stronger. So in spots, we're going to get more thunder. We're going to get some lightning and some heavy downpours, which we greatly need. Scattered showers and thunderstorms lasting into the morning hours. I'm going to break this down for you and tell you what's next here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Residents in Miami, Oklahoma need to keep an eye on their bicycles after police have seen a rash of thefts. KOAM's Yana Hautala spoke with police and a resident and has more.
Residents of Miami, Oklahoma are mentioning they have had their bikes stolen or they have at least heard about it happening. The Miami Police Department receives about 100 bikes a year that are turned in as found property. According to Police Chief Thomas Anderson, thieves may steal bikes and use them to be quieter.
You can get away, there's no lights on them, and you can cut through houses, you can cut through parks, property, where a car is a lot more noticeable.
Anderson says some people see an unlocked bike and decide to take it for a ride around the town.
The most common is just convenient, and they ride them, joyride, just more of a nuisance crime.
He says they help the people the best they can, but one of the biggest problems is that a lot of the bikes look the same. That's why it is important to have some kind of recognizable mark on the bike or have the serial number of the bicycle written down.
It's hard to positively identify your bike, so when you buy one, if you'll write down that serial number, and then if it gets stolen, give us a call. A lot of people don't report stolen bikes because they don't think they'll ever see them again, not that big a deal.
A resident of Miami, Janie King, has had 7 bikes stolen during the last 13 years.
This year alone, he's had 3 bikes stolen, and we bought him a new one yesterday.
She likes to go for rides with the neighborhood children, but not even garage doors can stop the thieves from stealing her bikes. She plans to go check the serial numbers from the bikes with the police.
Yeah, we're always going to do that tomorrow. We never have done it.
In Miami, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The police department has a public sale for the unclaimed bikes once a year. That money goes to the general fund for the city. Authorities in Pittsburgh have charged a man for firing a gun near a house with children in it and damaging property. Police say around 3 this morning they responded to a domestic incident. When they arrived, they found 39-year-old Corbin Murray in the backyard of the home with a shotgun and rifle pointed in the direction of an officer. Police were able to knock the weapons out of his hands and arrest him. Authorities said before that, Murray hit a woman in the home and damaged property while children were inside. Murray is charged with domestic battery, aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, and 5 counts of aggravated endangering a child. Authorities in Newton County, Missouri are investigating after a vehicle flees the scene after rear-ending a motorcycle, injuring its rider. That crash happened shortly before 10 p.m. Monday along I-49 Gateway Drive. Authorities say 52-year-old Bradley Pippin was riding his motorcycle north near the Gateway exit when he was hit. Pippin was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The Carthage School District regroups after the failure of a bond proposal for a new performing arts center in yesterday's elections. The current auditorium is more than 40 years old. Although a majority of voters supported the plan, it failed to get the 4/7 majority needed for passage. Still, the superintendent of schools believes a new performing arts center would benefit the school and community.
Part of the discussion was how the entire city would be able to use the Performing Arts Center. Now with this not passing, there's going to have to be other venues that people are going to have to choose. The next time that bond could be put on a ballot is April of 2023. A local veterinary clinic is looking for a new location. Paw Prints on the Heartland and the Southeast Kansas Humane Society are parting ways after 22 years, leaving Paw Prints without a location. KOAM Shagun Bamadelli has more.
Paw Prints on the Heartlands and the Southeast Kansas Humane Society are separating. The SCK Humane Society wanted a new lease agreement, but Paw Prints on the Heartlands was unable to meet the lease agreement.
Paw Prints could not meet the demands of the lease, and so after failed negotiations, we've been attempting to make it work and keep this as our home, and it didn't work, and so now we've been given an order to leave.
After 22 years of partnership, Paw Prints on the Heartlands is leaving Southeast Kansas Humane Society due to an eviction notice they got last week Thursday. The organization is looking for a new place to call home.
Paw Prints is seeking a building from which to do their spay neuters. We have been evicted from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society building that we've been using for the last 22 years, and so we're needing a home in order to continue the services.
Paw Prints says they need a new home soon, as their last day at the current location will be August 15. In Kansas, Shagun Bamadelli, KOAM News.
We reached out to the SCK Humane Society for comment, but they declined to give us a comment. You might have seen more scooters on the streets of Carthage recently. The Carthage Parks and Rec Department is holding a trial period with Lime scooters to see if the scooters can be a form of transportation rather than just be used for leisure. The only public transportation in Carthage is a taxi service working out of the sheriff's office. After the trial period, the department will analyze whether those Lime scooters help with public transportation in Carthage.
Yeah, I mean, our hope is that maybe there's people out there who want to take that drive from their house to their place of employment and make it a little more convenient for them.
That trial period ends on August 21st. Coming up, President Biden signs an executive order aimed at protecting abortion rights. Plus, the Senate passes a bill allowing veterans exposed to toxic burn pits easier access to health care. President Biden has signed an executive order aimed at protecting abortion rights for the second time now since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The executive order calls for possible Medicaid waivers to cover services for women who travel out of state for care. It also aims to improve research on maternal health outcomes and ensure health providers comply with federal law as they navigate new state restrictions. Supporters cheered last night as the Senate approved the PACT Act, making it easier for veterans to get treatment if they're exposed to toxic burn pits while serving. Reporter Scott McFarland was there for the vote and the celebration.
Tears of joy outside the Capitol for veterans and their families, some of whom spent days and nights camped outside, along with advocate and former TV host Jon Stewart, to pressure senators to break through their stalemate. You think your group moved the senators?
I'll tell you they sure did.
Senators approved long-awaited legislation to expand medical benefits for potentially millions of service members exposed to burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan and other toxins as far back as Vietnam. Veterans groups say they were blindsided last week when some Republicans blocked passage of the law in a procedural dispute over how to budget money for the tens of billions of dollars in costs.
The motion is agreed to.
A dispute senators resolved last night.
Finally, at long last, America lived up to its ideals by saying to our veterans who have been exposed to toxic chemicals from burn pits, we have your back.
Among those attending the vote, Susan Zier, whose son-in-law, Heath Robinson, died of lung cancer after returning from Iraq. What was Heath's experience like?
The first words out of the oncologist's mouth when he was giving him the diagnosis was, what the hell have you been exposed to?
President Biden celebrated the bill's passage from the White House. Zier says she expects to attend when Mr. Biden signs the bill into law, which he says he'll do when it reaches his desk.
Scott McFarland, CBS News, the Capitol.
A little later, what a group of international scientists say about a possible climate endgame.
Plus, scattered thunderstorms increasing for us later on tonight. We'll look at that coming up. Well, we're not proud of it, but day number 18 that we've hit 100 degrees so far this summer as we officially topped out at 102 during the afternoon hours. Maybe a hair or two cooler over the next couple days, which would be nice, but it's still going to be extremely hot across the region. We need rain. I know we had some scattered showers, some scattered thunderstorms over the weekend, but the metro itself really didn't get anything. We haven't had anything for August. It is super dry out there. Good news here is we do have some scattered thunderstorms for us forming during the overnight hours tonight. Look at the temps. We're still hovering lower 90s. It's after 10 p.m. It's hot. It's 92, south winds at 10. Look at our heat index, 97. Relative humidity is at 47%. Had the isolated thunderstorms mainly in our northern counties a little bit earlier this evening. These were dropping south and east and just kind of fell apart. But if you look over the past hour, you can see them trying to kind of flare back up, especially on the Missouri side. But all the bigger storms along the I-70 corridor from Columbia, Jeff City, St. Louis, and then down east of Springfield. But in our region, we do have a couple little guys, one north of Stockton, one just south of Greenfield. Here's Mount Vernon, a couple little guys popping up just to the west of Mount Vernon. Let's track a little farther south. Here's Monette Aurora, little complex just to the west of Cassville. A little shower east of Veneta. Right through the metro, we do have some spotty light showers, which is good. One other little guy just southwest of Pittsburgh, another little guy trying to pop up near Parsons. So we do have scattered showers, but later on tonight we'll get some scattered thunderstorms across the region. Still this big dome of high pressure, which we need to get rid of, but we get these weak little waves that rotate around it because it's clockwise flow. We'll definitely take it. All right, let's step through the night. Here's midnight, scattered thunderstorms flaring up. Now, some of the storms that do flare up could be a little stronger. We can't rule out a low-grade severe storm. If we had anything like that, it'd be winds at 60 and penny-sized hail. These kind of rotate through, flare up again. Here's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You can see majority of the wider spread rain on the Missouri side, very spotty on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Scattered showers and thunderstorms into the morning. Here's 8:30. Most of these gone by 9 or 10. And then by the afternoon, we heat up into the mid-90s. A little bit cooler tomorrow just because we're going to have the morning showers and clouds, but we break out and see mostly sunny skies by the time we head into the afternoon hours. Still a very slight chance for an isolated storm on Friday as well. All right, through the overnight, here's our chances going up. So our best chance for rain, 4 a.m. until 8 a.m., and then it will start to taper off. Now, it's hard to pinpoint down how much we're going to get because it's going to be so scattered. Better shot for 1/4 to 1/2 an inch on the Missouri side, maybe a 1/10, maybe a 1/4, Kansas, Oklahoma, and also Arkansas. Not a lot of rain, but there's going to be scattered thunderstorms out there, so hopefully your house will get a little bit of rain. 96 tomorrow, 98 on Friday. We hover right around 100 degrees as we head through the weekend. Another little weak front gets in here late Monday that could give us some scattered thunderstorms again, which we need.
Yeah, I know some places have gotten some rain in recent weeks.
Because you've had an inch or two at your house. Right?
Yeah, and I know you've had
nothing.
Zip.
Yeah.
Wow. So anything is going to be welcome for everybody. Thanks, Doug. team of international scientists says the world needs to start preparing for the possibility of a climate endgame as extreme weather events keep ravaging the planet. Reporter Ian Lee has more.
The effects of climate change can be seen all around, from raging wildfires to catastrophic flooding. So far, the conversation has primarily been how to prevent it from getting worse.
Half of humanity is in the danger zone from floods, droughts, extreme storms, and wildfires. No nation is immune.
But now a team of international experts led by Cambridge University says we should be prepared for failure.
Right now, I think we're being naive. We're not looking at the worst case scenarios at all, really.
Researchers warn about what they call the 4 horsemen of the climate endgame: famine, extreme weather, conflict, and disease spread by insects. Scientists are urging world leaders to investigate possible outcomes ranging from a loss of 10% of the global population to eventual human extinction.
The ultimate purpose of this area of study, it's not supposed to be any kind of disaster voyeurism. It's supposed to be about understanding to prevent the worst case.
A worst case climate scientists say we should be ready for if all else fails. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Researchers say with current emissions, within 50 years, 2 billion people could experience an annual average temperature of more than 84 degrees. Still ahead, a former Pittsburgh State Gorilla finds a new home in the NFL, and the Kansas City Royals close out their series with the Chicago White Sox. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Pittsburgh American Legion baseball team is back in the Mid-South Regional Tournament for the second consecutive year. The Post 64 opens the tournament this afternoon in Birmingham, Alabama, facing the Tupelo 49ers out of Mississippi. Now, this is not an easy tournament opener. The 49ers come into the day with a 32-1 record. Pittsburgh falls in a good one today, 5-2. Cameron Williamson gets an RBI single for Pittsburgh. And Post 64 will try to stay alive in the regional tournament, playing tomorrow afternoon at 1. The Kansas City Royals finish up a 3-game series with the Chicago White Sox this afternoon. Now, the two teams have split the first 2 games of the series after the White Sox took Game 2 last night 9-2. Now, today's game, final road game for Kansas City before they begin an 11-game homestand tomorrow night. Now, Chicago takes the early lead here on the RBI single. Royals down 1-0. Lance Lynn dealing for the White Sox all afternoon. Michael Taylor goes down looking. Next batter, Nick Prado swinging. Lance Lynn, 6 innings today. Gives up just 4 hits and 1 run while striking out 8. We did have a little bit of a rain delay, but they would get back on the field and finish the game. 3rd inning, Jose Abreu with 2 runners on. Takes this one up and out off Brady Singer. 3-run jack, his 14th. White Sox controlled this one, going on to win 4-1. On the National League tonight, Game 2 of a rivalry series between the Cubs and Cardinals. They were supposed to play, but rain gets in the way tonight. Instead, they'll play a doubleheader tomorrow with Game 1 beginning at 12:15. The Kansas City Chiefs are in Week 2 of practice at training camp in St. Joe. 3rd-year linebacker Willie Gay picked up an interception off Patrick Mahomes in practice this morning. Now, he talked after practice about getting that interception and his high expectations for his 3rd year in the NFL.
Give me a lot of confidence. You know, I got goals to lead linebackers in the NFL and interceptions this year. So when Pat throws me some, I know the other quarterbacks will because they're not as good as him. So coming out of college, man, I was a guy I feel like was drafted because of my coverage ability. And, man, like, I feel like I dropped 4 of them last year. You know, if I make those opportunities and, you know, make the play, that's like 5-6 interceptions last year. So this year, man, I really can take it to the next level. I know that for a fact, so I'm definitely going to do that.
Finally, former Pittsburgh State cornerback Davonte Bosby has a new home in the NFL, signing today with the Washington Commanders. And Bosby just finished up his season in the USFL with the New Jersey Generals, but he's no stranger to the NFL. You can see there, these are the teams he's played for since entering the league in 2015. And his 1 season in the USFL this year, he had 17 tackles, 1 interception. He's also a Super Bowl champ, winning Super Bowl 52 with the Eagles. So it's always nice to see former Gorilla get another shot in the NFL. I hope he makes the most of it. Can't wait to watch him play.
We've seen a lot from the Gorillas and from Missouri Southern playing in the NFL. We'll be right back. We take time now to honor a local veteran. Cleveland Allen served in the U.S. Air Force. The Mound City, Kansas native was stationed in Korea. And we salute Cleveland Allen, a four-state hero. The Crawford County Junior Leaders today gave kids a chance to have some fun and compete for prizes at the Barnyard Olympics. KOAM photojournalist Friends Wallace was there.
Put on is the Barnyard Olympics here at the county fair, which is put on for youth who are 18 and under. And it's just a fun time with games and activities to keep youth active and provide a fun activity during the day at the fair. Fake poop toss, there is the pound-a-post, which you would see. There's a hay bale jump, water bucket carry, all different kind of fun things. Makes it very fun and very special to see them learning, working together, building team working skills, things like that, all in a fun environment makes it just a great time.
It's just getting some kids out here, getting them to do some fun activities and really getting everyone together. And this is just a good activity. It puts a little fun in your hot day, and sometimes it'll even cool you off. Our stock tank that has water and soap in it, and you try to grab the soap and put it in a bucket, and they're all timed events. So you try to do it as fast as possible, and whoever has the fastest time wins.
Little fun in a hot day, sometimes even cool you off.
Water was involved.
Yes, you need that if you're going to be outside.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting some water in the form of rain, at least in some places tonight.
Yeah, scattered, but I think 60% of us will get scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Most of this should be out of here by about 9 a.m.
Final sports notes.
We're just 2 days away from Webb City and Pittsburgh playing in the Little League Midwest Regional Tournament in Indianapolis. Webb City plays at noon Friday. Pittsburgh plays at 3.
Looking forward to that. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.